The grunt test says, if I can't convince you to do business with me in 3.5 seconds or less, you're going to bounce off my site. So how do I do that? I call out in that top section of the website clearly what I do and clearly what you get as a direct result of working with me.
Today's episode is powered by Xero Systems.
Xero is all about removing the clutter and unnecessary touch points to run your home service business profitably.
They use AI dispatching to get the right tech to the right call automatically and job time efficiency to ensure your entire team runs like a profit-generating machine.
Get a tech upgrade for your business at get.xero.tech/service-business-mastery.
What's up, friends? Never miss a call again. So our partners with Free to Grow, their world-class AI voice CSR platform is designed specifically for trades businesses with industry-leading integrations, dedicated onboarding team. You'll never have to worry about missing calls or losing leads again. Whether it's booking, rescheduling, answering customer questions, or escalating to your internal staff, their AI handles it all 24/7. And not only that, it can book directly into your FSM. So stop wasting time and money on leads that get fumbled. Let Free to Grow turn every call into a book job.
Today's episode is brought to you by one of our show partners, UpFrog.
UpFrog is the OG when it comes to pricing transparency online. They find system replacement leads through paid ads and have developed an entire system to drive those hard-to-find system replacement opportunities, nurture the leads, and book them into sold systems before your team arrives to help you grow your business.
Learn more at upfrog.io.
Hello, everyone out there in podcast world. Hope you're having a wonderful day. You are listening to or watching the Service Business Mastery Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Tersh Blissett, sitting virtually next to my co-host, Joshua Crouch. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the StoryBrand framework as it pertains to the trades. If you're familiar with Donald Miller's story, I originally heard Donald Miller podcast. That's actually how I learned about building a story brand. And it was really cool. I love this podcast, and then I love this book. So what I'm super excited to talk to you today about, Amber, is that whole framework and how it pertains to the trades. So you have a marketing background, but you grew up in the trades. Your parents have a trade company. And so it's going to be, I'm excited to have this conversation with you because there's so often a marketing company puts out content. Like I see Josh put something out there and it's like, okay, we got this many leads from this much content and this, that, and the other. And it's easy for us in the trades to go back and say, well, that works for a marketing agency, or like the Savannah Bananas, like they're a baseball team. They're entertaining. It's easy to get content for entertainment like that. But whenever you actually implement this framework, it can actually work really well for a trades company. And so I'm excited to talk to you about that today. Josh, is there anything you want to say before we let Amber do her introduction?
No, let's learn more about Amber.
Hey guys, I'm really happy to be here. I'm Amber. I've been in the trades since birth. My dad started his first plumbing company in 1983, and
You didn't come out with a wrench, did you?
I didn't, but I did play on my fair share of backhoes.
I was going to say, your poor mother.
I know, it was terrible, right? But yeah, I did read on the back of a backhoe many days, went to many new job construction sites. Brown Friday is a real deal for all my plumbers out there. Yes, every Thanksgiving, our two-way radios would go off. I am dating myself. I had the maps go. I knew how to dispatch by the maps go. And we had to deliver a water heater on Thanksgiving Day. All our two-way radios went off. So Thanksgiving was a big day, and so was Brown Friday. So yep. Grew up in the trades. Plumbing, electrical, HVAC. Those are my people. I was definitely the smallest out of the three kids, so they would send me through the culverts. You know, we're on a job site. They're like, here, give the sister the PVC pipe and go throw her underground. But
absolutely. It's funny. I actually, yesterday afternoon, we were trenching through a foundation area for my uncle. He's building a house. And so I have all of my kids are on spring break. And they all have friends over. So I was like, you know what? Let's all y'all can all come over here and
So,
help me
okay,
dig this
take a field
ditch.
trip. I'll take a field
Yeah.
trip. Y'all want to
They
hang out
literally-
here? You want to be fed? You're going to help me.
The smallest ones were the ones that were like digging the ditch underneath it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I remember those days when I was the one stuck doing that.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
Exactly. Yeah. I
So
thought
how
it was
did you?
really cool when my dad bought a Takahouchi because those things are really small. And so
Mhm.
I would watch my brother like pull it off the trailer and then do 360s, and lift the bucket up and down. Yeah, that was the kind of childhood we had.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So how did you get into marketing? Yeah, what got you into marketing? Obviously, you're working. You have family business, been in the trades. Did you see a need there, or was it just something that like you took to once you realized that you guys had to get more calls on the board and stuff? How did that happen?
Yeah, it was kind of both, right? I was the girl. I was the token girl with two older brothers. So when the uncles and brothers and cousins are all, the license holders, what are you going to do with the girl? You put her in the office and you put her on the phones. And so when I was running our call center at the time, it was the 24-seat, 24-hour call center for all of the business entities. I started paying attention to what calls to action were working and what coupons were working. And I just really took to it. And eventually, we're a family owned business. So my mom came to me with all of her yellow page reports and her marketing contract. And she goes, I'm not doing this anymore. You're doing it. And I went, okay. Totally school of hard knocks. And then developed a process of doing marketing for one of our businesses, which was a franchise. And then ended up doing marketing for a co-op of other fellow franchisees and HVAC plumbers. And just figured out how to apply marketing for return on investment and realized really quickly that marketing for the trades is a totally different ballgame than marketing for another kind of company. I mean, it's its own thing and you have to approach it differently. So that's what I did. Learned how to cut my teeth on it.
Very cool. Very cool. So tell us a little bit about building a story brand and how you got into that.
Yeah. So at the time, I was the chief marketing officer and chief information officer for a manufacturing company up in Wisconsin. And we had 90 different builders in 10 different states, and we had no consolidated marketing program at all. And the company had not made a profit in over 8 years. And they brought me and two other executives in to turn the company around. So I went to my boss at the time and I said, look, I just finished reading this phenomenal book by Donald Miller. And this is a marketing system that literally would help us to brand not only the company as a whole, but every single subsidiary consistently. And we need to make this investment. So the company graciously allowed me to go and get certified. That was over 5 years ago now. And I've maintained my certification ever since. I think there's only a few hundred of us in the world that are still certified. But what I love about StoryBrand is that it puts the customer as the hero and the company as the guide, which works perfectly for the trades. It's perfect for what we do.
Yeah, that's it. Whenever Josh and I do our presentation, one of the things that I got from the building the story brand concept was that Josh and I are the guides. We're not the hero of the story. And so when we're doing our what are you going to get out of this presentation slide, that's one of the main points is, hey, you're going to come away from this presentation with a guide or two, depending if you want to put it with Josh or not. So, yeah. And so then honestly, that's where it came from, was from the Donald Miller concept, that story brand.
Yeah. I mean, I think what's so common is that we wrap our trucks and we put our phone number on our websites and we think, okay, customers are just going to call us. But the bottom line is our industry has become so saturated and the competition has gotten so fierce with private equity picking up so many different trades-based businesses that if you don't have a consolidated message that psychologically works across your website, across your branding, and across all your other marketing tactics, you do get lost in the mix. So our job as tradespeople is to make sure that people understand the problems that we solve on behalf of our homeowners is more than just tactile. Yeah, you can fix a toilet. Yeah, you can replace a coiler or a coil. But at the end of the day, what is the emotional component that you are actually solving for your homeowner that's going to keep them coming back to you again and again and again? And I think that's what StoryBrand is so great about defining.
Can you break down that concept, like the framework a little bit so that people understand why that why it works?
Yeah. So every blockbuster movie follows the same script, whether it's The Godfather or The Hunger Games. I don't care. You start with a guide, you start with a hero who is reluctant. They don't want to be put in the situation that they're in. And then they find a guide that gives them a path forward that literally spells out for them how to overcome this problem that they are facing. And if they don't have some salt and something that they're going to lose, then they're not going to take the risk, right? So every single hero is reticent. And we have to look at this from the perspective of our clients. If we, as the contractors, are the guide, then what we're trying to do is allow our clients to be the hero in their own story. Get them back to normal.
That's hard because you have the hero complex because I'm coming in to save the day.
Well, I've had texts when they're on call, when I was in HVAC, they literally like that's, I don't say they got off on it, but like it made it feel like they were wearing a superhero cape. Like they would get on call, they would help, Mrs. Jones, elderly lady with a problem, and feel like $1 million, and they felt like they were the hero of the story. And it's definitely different to bring in the trades, because we think of plumbers and technicians and all these they're people that come out and solve these complex problems. They're the heroes. So it is definitely a flipped thing, especially the marketing piece. Now they're still the heroes, right? They're still fixing, they still have to have the knowledge to do that stuff. But from the marketing perspective, it's not the same thing.
It's not. And I think it's completely fine to feel like the hero when you are in the home and you're taking great pride in your work. But what you realize is that what makes you the hero is the problem that you're solving. You're protecting that elderly widow from being taken advantage of. You're helping that baby have a comfortable home when it's 100 degrees outside. And when you're solving those problems, that's what really makes you that hero. But really what you are is the guide who is allowing the customer to take care of their family and their home. And that does require a mind shift for sure.
Yeah, it really does. If you have someone who is a business owner now, who originally, like they came in, they were originally a technician, and they had that mindset of like, not the hero complex, but almost like a hero complex. And you now know like, hey, I need to transition from this mindset to like, now I'm the guide. How does that even happen? Like, how do we do that? Like if say I have a hero complex and I want to be the guide. And so like, I actively want to make this transition. It's not an easy one to make because you've been doing it for probably 10, 15, 20 years, the way you've been doing it. So now all of a sudden I need to change. Have you experienced that, having to do that or deal with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at any of the cheesy commercials that are on the 6 o'clock news, and you look at the commercials that are really compelling, and you look at the commercials that are not. Like, I hate the commercials with the attorneys that are like, oh, I'm the attorney that's going to get you millions of dollars. And they spend the whole time talking about themselves. If I'm the one injured and at home, you talking about me. I want to understand what kind of money you're going to get for me and what steps you're going to take for me. And so when you're making this transition from being the technician into the owner of the story, I think you have to really examine for yourself, why are you in business? Are you in business to serve your community and to fix problems that you know you can fix better than anybody else? Because if you are, then when you step into the problems that you can solve for your customers, you automatically attract those who appreciate what you do and will trust you again and again and again, thereby giving you the opportunity to sell a membership or an upsell. Because what you're saying is, yeah, I can fix your problem, but what I'm really doing is empowering you to have the kind of home that you want.
I feel like because you asked this question, when we do this on our kickoff calls, is we want to know what makes a contractor different, right, from the rest of their market.
Yeah.
And I feel like most business owners in the trades, and maybe this is outside the trades too, but they don't know how to answer the question. Like, well, we have great customer service. We got 5-star reviews. We have a nice warranty.
Same as everybody else.
And it's like
Right.
everybody else has the same thing, but they don't think that the other person does. But they're all saying the same
Right.
thing to the homeowner. So they can't speak a language that the homeowner's like, well, I don't know who to pick. And to me, it's just like, I don't know, this one looks good. So how do they
Right.
start developing? Like, how do they actually look internally at their organization and be like, what does make us different?
Yeah. So I actually have a quiz on my website that they can take for free that allows them to ask themselves these questions to see what aspects of their marketing needs to be developed out. And it's called the Entrepreneur's Toolkit. So they can go and click on that and see what areas are missing. There is an entire process for making sure that your website is story branded. There's an entire process for talking through your follow-up email drips that you're going to send out through whatever platform like Service Titan or whatever it is. But it's the way that you talk to your customers that has to flow together psychologically that makes you stand out and be different.
Are you still teaching like what did they call it? The grunt test, I think.
Yeah.
So like explain what that is.
Yeah. So most people spend, how long do you think they spend on a website? Like, what do you
Not
think?
long. Less than
30 seconds.
3.
3, yeah.
3.5 to 4 seconds. So think about it. You're looking for a plumber, you're looking for an HVAC guy. You're on your phone. You're spending 3 to 4 seconds. The grunt test says, if I can't convince you to do business with me in 3.5 seconds or less, you're going to bounce off my site. So how do I do that? I call out in that top section of the website clearly what I do and clearly what you get as the direct result of working with me.
Hello, home service professionals. Do you want to maximize your marketing budget? Then you need to be using call tracking from CallRail. Let's say you noticed a spike in new leads this month. To find out what's driving them, you just log into your CallRail dashboard. Is my new Facebook ad outperforming my other ads? Or is paid search knocking it out of the park? Or maybe it's time to retire those newspaper ads. Since CallRail assigns a unique phone number to each of my marketing efforts, I know where my best leads come from and which efforts to scrap. CallRail shows you your most cost-effective marketing channels so you can get back to business. Go to callrail.com/SBMpod and try it for free.
I want to give a huge shout out to Marcus Storm for sponsoring today's episode.
You've heard of Google Ads, Facebook ads, and SEO, but did you know that there's an entire ecosystem, like 80% of the internet, that ads can be served on that you barely heard about?
That's where Marcus Storm operates.
They leverage data science and AI to build customer profiles for your ideal customers and get your ads in front of prospects before they are ready to hire a pro, planting your brand in their minds early and often.
To chat with a team about how they can help you grow your business, visit marcusstorm.ai.
If you're a contractor with multiple CSRs, check out this Service Business Mastery podcast partner, Lace.ai. Lace uses cutting-edge AI to analyze your phone calls, uncover lost revenue opportunities, and empower your CSRs to convert more leads. You can significantly increase revenue without spending extra on marketing or hiring by using Lace.ai to boost your conversion rates. For the first time, you can gain deep insights into customer needs at scale with minimal effort. Elevate your call center to achieve industry-leading booking rates and revenue. Visit www.lace.ai to book a demo today. Now back to the show. Yeah, so I built a website in 2014 or 15, and I only used the Donald Miller's framework on his websites. Like I that's the really between him and Josh Nelson back whenever he was publishing so much stuff on YouTube. That website has not been updated since 2016 or 17, and it still ranks in the top 4 or 5. And it's literally like there are pages in there that have been updated, and it's got Ipsum Lorem all over it and stuff, and it still ranks. And I attribute it to the fact that initially it was set up correctly and it did pass the grunt test. Like it literally, and it was hard to get the page speed there, like the weight down, but have all the information above the fold. and to even learn what above the fold even meant to start with, like I was like, I'm completely lost here. But I mean, to be able, because like I was looking at like example websites, and this is back whenever Donald Miller didn't have a gazillion billion people following him. So like he was giving small, almost one-on-one, like there was a group of us, like 20 or 30 people, where like he was like, okay, somebody give me your website. And of course, everybody's like, oh, hell no. I am not giving you my website so that everybody can see how terrible it is. But he did a version of my website, and he was like, you did a really good job. And I was like, well, I literally copied and pasted almost everything that you said to do. And so, like, I'm glad you like it.
I'm glad I showed you that I could follow instructions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Well, the funny thing is, back in the day when we were all doing tons of marketing for the trades, and Google Business was just coming out, and there was all this conversation about, do you need a big website, or do you need mini sites, or do you need this or that?
Yeah.
There's been such a shift in that. Now, Google Business Profile is what matters. You can get away with a very basic website.
You're
welcome.
Josh,
I've been saying that for 5 years. That's literally so. Amber, I don't know. So I know we have some mutual connections and work together a little bit on a couple of clients and stuff. But literally, that's why Relentless Digital started, because nobody was talking about Google Business Profile 5 years ago, and I started sharing these like heat map things, and people are like, "What is this?" And that's literally all we did for the first 18 months. We didn't touch websites. We didn't do LSA. We didn't do marketing on. We didn't do any of the stuff that most marketing companies do. And it's because it's the shift. Now, the website plays a part in some of that, but it still matters, especially because people will still land on it and you're going to drive traffic to it and stuff. But I appreciate you acknowledging that the Google Business Profile is the king of like the digital page one now. I appreciate that.
So you can send me a bottle of vodka later, Josh, as a thank you. Yeah, that's no problem. Yeah.
I didn't even tee you up for it, so that was perfect.
I know.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I mean, the truth is the truth, right? If people can figure out where you are, that you are concerned about their problem, that you're local, that you can put their problem first, you're gonna win the day. Otherwise, you run the risk of sounding like every other competitor out there. You gotta brand yourself differently, and you don't need to spend tons and tons of money on massive behemoth websites. Don't get me started on it.
So, like, how about LSA? Because so often LSA gets wrapped up into your GBP or whatever it's called now.
You can tell who the marketer is and who it's.
Now I'm trying to like it. I'm so used to saying GMB, but of course, as soon as you get used to it, they change it up. Is it? What's your take on LSA? And it was awesome when it was free. Now it's not free. So
yeah, it was also awesome before they could stop deprecating you on your GBP and turn off your leads for whatever reason because of algorithmic updates too, right? So I mean, look, I think it's always going to be a part of online strategy for home services. We're gonna need Google local search ads, but the danger comes in when you are not diversified. Because I've worked with many a home service company that was getting only their leads through Google local services. And when those leads fell off, their leads, I mean, their call boards just went empty. So you've got to have a well-diversified lead generation funnel.
It's such a great topic because branding in the trades, we talked about this a little bit before we jumped on here. A lot of people think they go buy a nicely designed wrap or a logo or something and like their branding is done.
And that's part of it, but
it's a part because it tells part of the story. But like even the social media posts, like I hosted a social media webinar yesterday, and like getting people to talk, like have a voice. I literally told them to have a spine and have an opinion because I think that's one of the reasons why some of the stuff that we do at Relentless and some of the stuff we do on the podcast, we have opinions about stuff. We're not just, we think it's a logo, we think it's a truck wrap, we think it's a sign on the door, it's a wall mural. It's, it's like, we don't conceptually think about branding as far as like the words we use, the tone we use, how we talk, how we present ourselves with our uniforms, like how all of the things become part of the brand story and the brand voice.
Consistent uniforms.
Yeah, guys showing up with clothes
Josh.
that are full of. I don't have a consistent uniform.
So, you know, it's very consistent, inconsistently consistent.
Well, it's consistent. It's shorts and t-shirts because it's hot here, and my office has terrible air conditioning. So
I wish we knew an AC guy.
Yeah, maybe Tersh wants to want to come hang out one day and help me.
I've offered, but I guess my rates are too expensive.
Yeah, you're a little pricey.
If only you had someone that could solve that problem for you.
Right. Yeah.
Right. You know, it's funny. I was in the trades for 9 years, and I can talk a good game. Amber, I was in HVAC, but I cannot fix a damn thing. Like Tersh, literally, I had to help Brittany this morning because I just hook up jumper cables because and Tersh was giving me crap. He doesn't think I can use jumper. Like he thinks very lowly of my skills.
I do very low.
He's like, do you even know what jumper cables are?
He's honest.
Are you going to hook them up correctly?
Like, I put the red goes with the black, right? Like,
right, exactly. That's exactly right. Burn up her car.
Yeah, like as long as it's not my truck, I'm good.
Yeah, that's all that matters. So, as we're kind of coming to a close here, can you tell us like a marketing trend that you see coming in the next year or so that every business owner should know about?
Thank you to Company Cam for supporting today's episode.
These guys are changing the game for contractors with their smart photo app.
Keep your projects documented and streamline your team's communication with even your most complicated jobs.
Try it for free for 14 days and get 25% off of your first 2 months at companycam.com/SBM.
Yeah, get off of regular TV and radio. 99% of people are watching television online now.
You're not saying you're saying maybe move some budget into like OTT and connected TV and stuff like that, maybe still, or no?
Yeah. You need to be on CTV, OTT.
For those of us who aren't in the marketing world, what do those mean?
Online streaming television. You need to put your digital dollars into like your Hulus, your Rokus, your online banner ads, your audio ads. Maybe start thinking about advertising on podcasts. But most people are not watching television via satellite or cable. They're watching television through your Rokus and your disconnected TVs.
Man, we thought we were so slick when we cut the cord several years ago, and now all of a sudden,
subscriptions than we were before for cable.
Gosh, yes,
yep.
We're paying double now, and every one of these little stations wants to come out with. You know what kills me? And I'm just going to talk about this little tangent for a second. Why are you going to try and charge me $2.99 to watch the episode a day early? That is dumb. In my opinion, I don't care about it.
Which service is that?
All of them. Like literally
maybe I don't.
All of them. If you want to catch the episode a day early, pay $2.99.
Because people want it now.
Bro.
They want it now.
Although it does. So I'm watching Daredevil right now on Disney Plus, and the season.
You would be watching Disney Plus.
Well, I like the Marvel stuff, but you can only watch they only release one episode a week, and it drives me crazy. And then and they have 90-second commercials like 5 times through the episode. I'm like,
you can pay extra.
Did you pay the money?
I can pay
the money.
It's like I'm paying like $6.99. I'm like, I don't want to pay $9.99 to not watch commercials. Like, just I get it, but anyway, that's a whole nother.
And that's exactly why we need our commercials on these platforms.
Well, and there's how you get on those platforms is because there's a lot of people like me who want to be a cheap ass about it and like, I'll just sit through it.
Save $3, but I'm gonna melt the entire internals of this Lincoln Navigator because I'm gonna hook it up the jumper cables backwards.
I feel like it's time for me to go, guys.
$3. Yeah. This is literally every conversation.
Amber, you have Brittany's information. You can ask her if I did a good job today,
I do.
hooking up the
I've already
cables.
texted Brittany. Yeah, we're
okay. Well, she was commenting over on the side over here. I was holding it off.
We're ignoring her.
Hey, Brittany, I love you.
Yeah. Real quick, we got a couple minutes left, but you're in the middle of a frame or I don't know, like a framework, a workshop of building these things out. Do you hold those regularly for people? If somebody's interested, they listen to this, like, man, I really need to like really approach my entire marketing from a holistic view and start over or start fresh, and they want to learn, like, really build this framework the right way. Do you hold those regularly? Or
I do. Yeah. I have an online mastermind class for business owners and business leaders, especially in the trades, where we walk through your marketing. It's an hour once a month, and we do homework, but we literally take you through 7-part framework. Here you go. There's your SB7, how to story brand your business, what tactics to put into place, how to look at your ROI. We base it on my international best-selling book, The 4 C's of Effective Marketing. 10 people per class, max. But yes, we take people through on a monthly basis and help them to build their marketing strategy from the ground up.
Where can they sign up for that if they're interested in it?
Farbeyondmarketing.com.
Okay, so it's on your website.
I really think we should bring Brittany on and ask if she read your book, because I know she ordered it. I really want to put her on the spot, and I'm hoping she's listening. Why? That's not fun.
Do that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to protect you, Brittany. I love you.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I know she did, because I have total faith in Brittany. I know she read the book. I have confidence.
No, she's totally like a Cliff Notes kid. Like, back in the day when we used to have like the Cliff Notes before AI could just tell us the answers to everything. Yeah, she was totally a Cliff Notes kid for book reports.
Oh,
hey, that's what my book is. It's a back pocket guide for tradespeople. It's like 100 pages. Come on.
Oh, that's great. There's actually an app, Deep Stash. It is a Cliff Notes version of all of your books, like any kind of book that you or information that you want to learn about, and it gives you the highlights. And if you're really interested in it, you can go back and read the whole book. But
I love that.
It's really good. It's a really good for people like myself and Brittany.
I love that. Yeah, I'm a big audiobook person. I listen to audiobooks all day long.
I try, but I get distracted. Like, it's all like somebody asked me, I was recording a podcast. Somebody was like, hey, have you ever checked out the show? I said, honestly, I don't listen to podcasts, because if I start listening, I'm not paying attention. I'm focused on something else. And I'm like, I'll get 15 minutes in. I'm like, shoot, now I got to go back and listen.
Rewind.
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. That's why you got to know yourself and your best learning methods, right? So
you do.
Very, very
you
true.
Do.
That is very true.
Yeah. It's true.
Amber, we appreciate you hanging out with us, and if for anybody who missed your best point of contact, if they want to reach out to you, is it your website or LinkedIn, or what's the best way to get in touch with you?
You totally reach out to me on LinkedIn. That's fine. Or you can reach out to us on the website. We're on all the platforms, so we're very easy to get in touch with. Like I said, been in the trades a long time. So farbeyondmarketing.com or Amber Gaige on LinkedIn.
Who would have thought you, as a marketing company, would be on all the platforms?
I know, shocking, right? I mean, it was a really hard decision. We thought about it long and hard.
But the real question is, do you have like a link tree? I mean, because that's
do I have a link tree?
Yeah, do you have a link tree?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, see that we found a point where Amber hasn't gotten to that level yet. Because
Josh has a link tree. Ask Josh who set up his link tree.
I'm guessing Josh probably had the link bush. I'm guessing his link tree is like all integrated.
You're right. It's short.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you how to access it.
Yeah.
See, that's a problem, Josh. I may not have one.
I have really smart people that know how to do all that stuff, and I'm just like, hey, can you help me with the link? And Tersh helps me with some of that stuff.
Tersh is right.
Tersh will nerd out. He'll nerd out on that stuff.
Hey, if you're offering Tersh, I need one.
That's what the cool kids do, right?
Okay, well, with that being said,
you're not busy enough anyways, so
nope, absolutely not. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out to Amber. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Until we talk again next time, I hope you have a wonderful and safe week. We'll see you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Service Business Mastery. Now that you are equipped with essential business advice from this impactful conversation, you are one step closer to becoming the successful owner of your dreams. If this episode has been helpful to your business journey, don't forget to subscribe to the show, leave a rating, and share it with other owners as well. Visit servicebusinessmastery.com to learn more.